Good evening and welcome in, collective. Welcome back to my channel. If you're returning, Keeper of the Reaper. And if you're new here, welcome to the weirdness. It is going to be exactly that, nothing more, nothing less. I'm not going to be for everybody. That's okay. I don't want to be for everybody, and I'm sure you don't want every YouTube person to be for you, okay? Alright, let's just jump into it because I'm trying to work on how long my videos are and stuff, because I'm trying my best to do the things with the stuff in a timely manner. But rambling is a part of the way that I channel, and it is what it is. My hair is a freaking mess today. It is like wild woman. Anyway, we're not gonna go on about my hair. You're not here for my fucking hair. Anyway, so I do have. I grabbed the wrong goddamn notebook. I do have some channeled names and numbers. Follow the codes as you see fit, as they apply to you. Get to the page though. Alrighty. Flippity flip, come on. Alright. Here are the names. Evangeline, Wade, Claire, Chloe, Brandy, Beth, Anna, Draco, Amara, Derek, Deja, Lisa, Amber, Josh, Arlo, Samara, Jonathan, Mark, Consuela, Victor, Keisha, Tiana. I'm having a hard time reading my handwriting with that. It's either Tiana or Timara, Quinishula, D, and Latoya. And the numbers are 17, 21, 16, 72, 11, 101, 10, 10, 42, 12, 187, and 67, 19. So, if you're into numerology or gematria or what have you, there's you a little bit of candy. If you want to share with me what you find about it down in the comments, I love to hear how other people, channel. I like to share information. I think that it's what we're supposed to do, because I think part of the reason we've gotten to this point is because the right information has been withheld. And luckily, my collective of people's waking up, and that subconscious is tapping into the DNA chain that holds that memory. And I'm here to help kind of remind you guys how to speak that energetic language, to help interpret a few things as we go, to, kind of refresh. Guys, deep down, I know you guys know. And it's this feeling that I have, and it's what a lot of us are looking for at this point isn't so much new information. It's finding others that hold that information that resonates so deeply within us, because we're starting to notice that energetic signature. Okay, and so also with that, with some of the names that I mentioned, I have been channeling somebody. I don't know who it is exactly, because I get a lot of names, throughout the day and whatever. But it seems to be masculine energy. And dude, I'm literally getting tidbits of your struggle. I hear you, the kind of little bits and pieces of your disputes with your loved ones, specifically a significant other. And this whole argument about how you don't seem like yourself, or they're kind of gaslighting you about your spirituality and everything. And I have some information for you, and I hope that this video finds you well. I think that it will, because if you're coming on to my wavelength, then to me that's a clear indicator that you're going to happen upon this. So let's just see where this goes, and I really hope that the information that you need to help you is going to be in here, because whoa, I I know your struggle and I know your plight, because holy fuck have I been there. I've been there. And you know, collective, a lot of you are probably witnessing something similar happening around you in your life with your loved ones, as you know, this is really kicking off as more of us are coming out of the woodwork here, and actually risk and reward. We're taking that risk because we remember why it's worth that. Okay? If you know, you know. And if you don't know, you won't find out. Let's put it out. And, you know, again, I say this quite often. Congratulations, guys. We're doing the damn thing. And the proof is going to keep showing up. Nothing without proof. Nothing without proof. But I'm going to teach you how to find that proof. A lot have forgotten the language of energy and have gotten it kind of mixed up because of all these different meanings that have been applied to things, and word associations that have been like regurgitated over and over and over and over and over. And so as soon as you go to say something to someone, their immediate association is going to be something negative or totally irrelevant to the point that we're trying to make or what we're actually trying to say. Also, the whole thing of, and maybe just mentioning this will invoke the recognition in you guys. Don't forget the art of language and how I can say one sentence and you can take it as that, right? Like I could say, see the spotted dog run. And it's like, okay, see the spotted dog run. But there's also at least 50 other different things that could be pertaining to. And you guys are going to start picking up on these undertones, the way that language is used and the way that doublespeak is used, because that is something that has been used to manipulate society by those who have withheld this information and kept it to themselves for this purpose. So they could do this to communicate with each other right in front of our fucking faces. But there are, I know I'm not the only one, but there are many, maybe not, that have access. Like, I've been very blessed in how when they have they came after me and tried to like silence me and put me, you know, in a situation where I would not have access to be able to be doing this right now for you guys. My fellow warriors are like, ugh. Anyways, that's going to be taken care of, but a lot of us hold that information and have sat on it and have continued to put in the work, so when this time came, we would be able to step forward and help you guys, okay? It is what it is. Yeah. Whatever. Moving on. Oh, before I go any further, I'm going to still keep shuffling, so whatever comes out. I'm trying to remember to multitask. Please, I do not want anything on my channel to be used to fuel anyone's delusion, anyone's live action role play that they've got going on. And I know you guys have noticed it in a lot of the spiritual community. It is rampant up in this bitch. We have this wood, death. The eternal cycle begins here with forgiveness, reducing burden. And this one fell out. It's Farm Brag, sweetness and synergy. But yeah, I'm sure you guys have noticed like the whole weird, like it's gotten fucking weird. And I'm not talking about like this kind of weird. I'm talking about cringy weird. And it's gonna lead me into something else. So just bear with me as I get this out, because the universe is like stacking it on me. Anyways, I don't want any of my content being used to fuel these weird false attachments, okay? I do not want it being associated with that at all. That's not what it's there for, and it's dangerous territory to try to do that with the information I provide, okay? Also, Universe is wanting me to touch on something else. So, uh, as far as this authenticity thing goes, so you know how like it's not wise to ever accuse anybody of faking anything, even if it seems blatantly obvious to you. I want you guys to understand. A lot of a lot of this victim mindset in society that has run so rampant, and it's actually very suppressing to a lot of people, especially in regard to individuality. It has like a co-opted effect. It inverts. Um, you know how you can have two people standing beside each other and they can both be wearing the exact same thing. They can be saying the exact same thing. Whatever. One person can be saying the exact same words as another, and something inside of you is almost picking up on like something screaming inside of that person in silence. Please help, this is not me. And you get this kind of cringy response. Like when they step in front of you, it's like, ooh, it's like abrasive, right? But this other person right next to them, wearing the exact same shit, saying the exact same shit, they can pull it off, right? This is an energetic language, and it's going to be very pertinent moving forward because collective, you guys know about the whole copycat issues that we've had, and it's one thing to be inspired by someone, but to totally plagiarize another person's individuality and their whole, it's sick. And just because others might think they're being very convincing, energy does not lie. And the subconscious will always find ways to let those who have the eyes to see and such be aware of something false in front of them. Okay? This is going to bridge in to other stuff that I'm going to cover, but I was led to just go ahead and get that out there. Alright? Anyway. I'm trying to find a flow, guys. I promise you I am. And we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. But this shit is weird because it has been so unfamiliar for so long that I totally get it, guys, if this just seems like, I don't know if you guys have ever heard the phrase, like, holy mumble. My mom used to refer to it as that. And especially with the way that I present a lot, it's very, because of my shamanic bloodline, on my mom's side, I have a lot of, you know, you have different types of shamans and everything, and I'm a Heyoka, and that goes beyond just an empath aspect, because I have heard of that being used outside of, like, the shamanic realm, and I totally get that. I'm not even gonna bitch about it, whatever. It is what it is. But it's in the way that I can navigate light and dark at the same time, and everything in between, and it's like a kind of jackassery dance on that fine line. But I work with energy, and so for me, that's just my flow, and it works for me. Always has, always will, because I work with all of it. Because at the core level, we all work for the same source, if that makes sense. So all this shit that may look like chaos to many is a part of a certain method and structure in order to regain balance. And it's very different from order out of chaos, because I don't attach to that bullshit. But when I notice chaos, I know it's time to get to work. Because I know motherfuckers on the other side, and whatever. Anyway, think of it as like God's goon squad, so to speak. We're weird as fuck, we're powerful as fuck, and we know who we are. We know the seat we bring to the table, whatever. Oh yeah, speaking of which, what the fuck is up with all these competitive people here lately? Have you guys noticed that? It is so weird. Like, the spiritual community is like, it's a beast that devours itself, and like, of course, like, it's doing its job. It's gonna get rid of the riffraff, but seriously, what the fuck? Kind of fucking, I'm all for it, freak show, but god damn. Anyway, You guys that have noticed this, okay, that's more than two. I'm gonna, one at a time, please. I know you guys have noticed this, and I can pick up on the energy. Like, you guys are doing great. You guys are laughing it off. Hey, yoga method, and I love it. Make it just run with the absurdity of it, because it is actually fucking hilarious. It's annoying as fuck, but it's hilarious, right? These people actually think that we have any desire whatsoever to compete with them. What? Compete with what? What? If you claim to be so spiritual and stuff, like, you know, we all have our different methods, but you know what it's for. So any competition within that, like, why? For what? Why are you wasting our time? Anyway, if you know, you know. And if you don't know, you can go and find out. Alright, we got the bat spirit. A rebirth is assured. Ooh, and that's death is also on the board. Rebirth. Whatever. Okay. Anyway. That's out here with the first card, like Apple, Risk, and Reward. I need to remember to say these things so you guys can follow where the fuck I'm going here, and it's already hard enough. Anyway. Noted. For death, the eternal cycle begins here. Oh my goodness. Why am I blushing? Okay. Then we have card number 41, Nightingale Spirit, Love is All Around. And that's interesting because it talks about, like, the eternal cycle. Ooh, and I was just talking about how, like, the fallacies are a beast that's destined to devour itself. And then love is all around, like, it's all encompassing. And that also goes into what I was saying before. Like, we're all working for the same. Some of us just have a fucked up job title. Okay, I'm not saying me personally, but us as a, I know there's more of you waking up on this wavelength. Please, for the love of God. Ooh, 1717 on my timer. Please tell me. I feel it. I hear you guys. So, where the fuck are you? Anyway. Oh, hello. I was in the middle of saying for forgiveness, reducing burden, but I hadn't spoken it out completely yet, and this came out, so I'm going to put it with the death pile. Card number 65, Whale Spirit, trust in the great mystery, with love is all around, and the eternal cycle begins here. There it is. Okay, for forgiveness, reducing burden. Oh, hello. We have the Fox Spirit, think on your feet, card number 27. Oof. Itchy place. Okay, and for Barnbrack, Sweetness, and Synergy. Alright, we have the Antelope Spirit. Life is speeding up. Yep. Card number 2. Okay. So if you guys aren't familiar with the Halloween Oracle deck, Apple, Risk, and Reward is like asking how you make your decision of, like, if I do this, what is going to come of it? Is the juice worth the squeeze? Is it a tempting offer at a high price? And is that high price worth what you're going to be getting? Or are you getting scammed? Death, the eternal cycle begins here. So not every death is in terms of, like, literally death. It can also be very symbolic of just change and how we evolve. And when that evolution happens, what's reborn may not always look exactly like what emerged. But it's not gonna. What emerges is not gonna necessarily look like what it emerged from. Okay. And with, forgiveness, reducing burden, it just talks about the role of forgiveness, how it releases burden from you as well as others. And it also detaches you from the, like, karma's whip, so to speak. Because if you haven't forgiven someone and karma is trying to level the playing field and you're still having this energetic attachment to this person, letting them have, like, taking up energetic space, like, on some energetic level, you're going to be feeling that backlash from whatever it is that they're having to learn through, that kind of harsh effect. So, also talks about like recognizing when you need to ask for forgiveness and so on. Okay, um, with I keep wanting to call it brambrack, but it's barmbrack, sweetness and synergy. And so it was like this old tradition where they used to bake this loaf of bread, and in the bread there would be like a ring and other little trinkets and stuff, and based on like the piece that you got, those little pieces meant something. A ring would mean like soon you're to be married. It was like good luck and things like that. So it's kind of symbolic of getting your energetic slice of the cake, so to speak, and how things are ramping up. You're going to be seeing what you have in your piece, okay? What little goodies are hidden within. That's kind of fucked up though, right? To like hide random shit in somebody's fucking bread and be like, oh yeah, by the way, that means you're about to get fucked up. And little Miss Susie over here is about to get married. Like, anyway, I'm sorry, guys. It serves a purpose, though, I promise. And I found my little oracle deck that I made, like, literally forever and a day ago. And it took so long getting this done because it was like, it wasn't quite an intentional thing. It's like my subconscious was like already aware of all this shit that was gonna be to come in, and it's like we gonna make some fucking cards, kind of very similar to my weirdness jar sort of thing. Hello, we didn't ask for you, but you came out. Okay, I'm just gonna show it to you guys and read it because it might be pertinent to somebody out there. The one, rare jewels of the world. It's heaven in here. We love our beloved. Looking for signs. And that's what that looks like. All the things. With the stuff. Says more things about the stuff. And here we are. Okay. Whatever. For Apple, risk and reward. With the bat spirit, card number 5. A rebirth is assured, please. And there we go. Thank you. What is good taste anyway? Radical trouble, beauty, legends. Okay? So what might at first seem like something that, others might be perceiving as radical or whatever, that you might be stirring up some kind of trouble, or that you might be in some kind of trouble because of whatever you're picking up on. Like, people are weird about the unfamiliar. They always have. Anything powerful and unfamiliar, they want to control it, or they want to destroy it, or they just want to pretend it doesn't exist and remove it as far from their existence as possible, okay? Because it's threatening to their illusion of what they have going on. It may not even be an illusion. They just might not be willing to just be open to the unfamiliar. But that's how legends are born. And that's how legends emerge. And what is good taste anyway? What is beauty and all this good taste and good character and stuff anyway? A rebirth is going on not only in select collectives and their head, because with every collective, okay, so like, for every wavelength, you're going to have a head of the collective. And it's usually going to be a reflection of, the polarities at play, masculine, feminine energies. And then so at the head of that collective, you're going to have a head masculine and a head feminine that together make up, and all that structure together is going to, it doesn't mean that they're above anybody or anything. It's just that on that wavelength, they're like a filter for their collective. And they help kind of navigate where that collective's going so other cycles aren't repeated and stuff. Anyway, we'll get further into that another time. But those who have taken the risk are going to get their reward. All right, the radical doesn't always have to be associated with something negative. Radical transformation is just like when I talk about emergence. it's going to be revealing itself very soon. So if you don't understand at this time, you're going to very soon. All right, let's get another one for that. Guide. There are many lessons learned. Right. So the heads of the collectives here. You notice how this chandelier is like one of the older types, but it's not like old, like it's not actual candles, but it's like got the candles all together and they're all lit up. It all like represents like these flames, right? Well, that's like the head of the collective is like the chandelier that holds all those candles with their fuses lit. That eternal flame is ignited and they're all shining a specific light on the spectrum that makes up the whole. So, this whole thing of like different collectives is not something to sit there and bicker and fight about. It doesn't mean one collective's better than another. We all make up this spectrum, okay? So, and we all work together to create the best experience possible and navigate the variables that we don't want to repeat cycles. Okay, if we've already learned this set of variables, we do not want to be navigating on the same wheel and keep spinning that motherfucker expecting different, experiences. This is about growth. And, things have happened to keep certain things repressed. So this continuous cycle would be the only wheel of variables at play, and that these people in positions of influence and authority could continue to put their best possible interests on that wheel for every fucking body. And it's fucked up. It is a direct violation of not only divine law, universal law, energetic law, existential law, because there are laws in place. They're not quite the same as what you might think of as laws, but we'll get into that as we go. Alright, for death, the eternal cycle begins here with love is all around and trust the great mystery with nightingale spirit, whale spirit, okay? Because those animals might be, like, they might mean something for somebody. So I don't want to leave it. Ooh, hello. The badge. Guys, follow the authentic energy where you notice it. It comes with its own brand. It'll reveal itself. And don't feel some kind of way if there's someone there to lead by example. Okay, we have to stop with this competitive crap. There's no need for it. It's okay to need to learn. It's okay to understand that through this, the whole being has been abused and traumatized, and you are going to need help. All of us at some level are going to need help, and if all the collectives are doing their part, we all can help each other. Okay, so you will have something to offer someone else somewhere, and someone else will have something to offer you. It's not a fucking competition. For the love of God, it's not a competition. One more time, it's not a competition. But anyways, it says royalty, beauty, and commitment, power, light transformed. No wonder it came out with the death card there, like, where the eternal cycle, whatever. That whole radical, I'd said, like, radical transformation, right? So, trust that the people that are at the heads of their respective collectives have done their fucking work. They earned it. Okay? We all deserve the kudo for the work that we put in. And your time will come. Everybody will have their season. So let's not take the piss out of it for those who, put in the time and effort during this experience. Because it was at their fucking expense. You don't know what they may have sacrificed to get there. So there's okay, that's more than two, so we're going to put those back. You get one more for death, the eternal cycle begins. Okay, there we go. Oh, goodness. So there's that. I am. So that's what this whole transformational thing is about. Like, and that's why I've been harping on being okay with being your authentic self. There's no reason to hide. There's nothing to be afraid of, because those of us who are in tune with that, see, my nose is itching. It's like, anyways, you're going to be embraced. And it just might surprise you how well you're received, okay? Like, I know I'm fucking weird, okay? So please find some comfort in the fact that, some weird motherfuckers are stepping out, and so whatever you might have to offer is not going to be considered as, like, as odd as you might be assuming, okay? Let us see you. A lot of us have waited for you, and we're eager to welcome you and to be like, hey, holy shit, I've been feeling like I'm all alone too. Holy crap. Like, it's like the OG family getting back together. Okay? Moving on. For forgiveness, reducing burden with the box spirit, think on your feet. So you're gonna, okay, I'm channeling something here. With think on your feet with that, it's like you're gonna have to think on your feet of how to respond to a lot of these people, even those that are closest to you, that are like gaslighting the fuck out of you for your beliefs, for you coming into to yourself. This one is nature is a gentle, prudent, and just guide. I love her horn, her antlers. Not horn, antlers. Okay. So think on your feet and work with your vessel. Work with your natural self. Stop thinking that you have to repress your being to meet the standards of others. As long as you are doing it in a healthy way, whatever the fuck it may be. If you're setting healthy boundaries, you're enforcing those boundaries, and you're doing it healthy, and you're not fucking everybody else's shit up, let your being guide you. Your vessel and stuff, like the natural aspects, like so much of the natural world has been just ignored because nobody just, and like forgiveness is quite literally on the table here. So if you're being granted this forgiveness, show some, thanks for that. Get outside, and the very least you could do is kick your shoes off and put your feet in the grass. If you don't have grass around you and there's not much but asphalt, there's bound to be a blade of grass popping up through it somewhere, or a tree randomly sitting somewhere. Just, lean up against that motherfucker and kind of chill for a minute and be like, dude, what in the actual fuck, right? Because that tree is going to be like, oh my God, right? What in the actual fuck? Anyway, that's more than 2 words. Alright. Oh, and that, universe wants me to mention, that old saying, oh wait, hold on. I was talking about, like, with the whole guide card. Anyways, like the eternal flame. We're all keepers of something. Discover, stop denying, peek behind the curtain. It's easy to see the beginning of things and harder to see the ends. Keepers of the flame. Okay, so if you... It's weird. It's new in a lot of aspects, but it's really not that new. It's just, you've forgotten. And that's totally cool. With what everybody's fucking been through, there's no wonder that a lot has been forgotten. So, although it may be easy to see, like, how things are coming about because it's all so different, please don't try to jump to any conclusions on where you think it's ending to, because as people are starting to come out of the woodwork, we don't want to attach labels to people that aren't fitting. We're wanting to give them an opportunity to present themselves and witness them as they are, okay, for what they're trying to show us. And so jumping to conclusions and stuff, it's just, I hope you understand that. I really do, because I don't want to harp and like keep going on and on and on trying to hyper clarify this stuff. If you're on the wavelength and you have the ears to hear me. You will be able to get a clearer perspective of where this is all heading as we go. 3444 on the timer, that number stood out, so follow the codes as you see fit. Um, for Barmbrack, sweetness and synergy with the antelope spirit, life is speeding up. Ooh, I made this one for me because I'm a Taurus. But anyway, it looks like these. Okay. In art and design authority, magnificent. And then, of course, because Venus, um, there's also but this also goes into some other things. Uh, one symbol isn't locked in to just one realm of things. So when you see a certain symbol on something, try not to hyper attach it to just one thing that you would normally associate it with, because like I was talking about with the Greek alphabet and other things, it can branch into quantum physics and chemistry, particle physics, into esoteric wisdom and ancient symbols and stuff like that. I mean, there's so much more. And so try to keep an open mind and don't just lock when you're interpreting something for yourself. Try not to lean just on what's comfortable with what you've just been familiar with, if that makes sense. Anyway, there's also this mad, disrupting diamonds. I couldn't let things go. So the reason why things might be, life might be speeding up at this time is because certain aspects of divinity have been risen up into a higher state of being, and therefore kicking more off. Okay. All of this existence is about growth. It's about progress. It's about experiencing the variables and how they play out, because it helps us identify our most authentic self as we can identify it at that time. Of course, these energies exist in their culminated states out further beyond, and like when I talk about that overseeing sort of authority, that plays a role in that, okay? And we can tap into that if we so choose. And as we continue to study the language of energy together, I'm going to help you guys figure out how to do just that. The whole thing with like Akashic records and stuff, we all have access to it. However, there are some that, due to the nature of their spiritual work and their divine seat that they hold or whatever they're being risen up into, kind of came pre-equipped with that record to be able to access, and the information emerges as needed, as provoked. So, that's why I make sure to try to mention like certain numbers and names, because you never know the frequency of someone's voice. Anything else could say that number or whatever, but a certain voice at a certain time might just be what unlocks something for you personally, because we're all supposed to be working together. It's not a competition. So, lending an ear to your fellow beings here in this experience is actually very beneficial to you, every one of us. So, just try to keep that in mind moving forward. And when you're mad and you can't let things go, you are blocking yourself off from receiving the very thing that you're hopefully aspiring for. And two, you're robbing others of being able to put that information out and go about their duties, okay? So there's that. I'm going to get the jar of weirdness, and we're going to see what goodness comes out, because I love the jar of weirdness. Earlier today, I was using it for myself, and it was so freaking cool. Like, this stuff never gets old for me. I don't care. I could do it all day, every day. And the fact that universe is speaking to me as clearly as it does is just as amazing as it was the very first time I was able to perceive that something more than myself was taking notice of me and speaking to me. And I really would like to share that with you guys, because you guys too can build that relationship. And as your awareness grows and blossoms, we can work together to try to streamline that. So some of the stuff that many of us had to learn the hard way, if you can lend an ear to the wisdom we have to offer, it's like we already paid that debt for you. And if you just lend us an ear, we could spare you kind of like the lengthy process and the nasty muck, what the fuck, of it, so you can get to that connection faster. Okay? But that part is up to you, to kind of figure out, for yourself if you're willing to listen to somebody else. My God, earlier I was doing this and I was shaking the fuck out of this thing, and I had like the lid held right here, and as I was shaking, the lid came up and like bonked me right in the fucking face. It was hilarious. Universe got jokes. Anyway, the universe is prone to mischief just like the rest of us. It's fucking funny. Here we go. Oh yeah, I said I was gonna do this kind of stuff like, there's hair in my mouth. Yeah, stop it. Anyway, I was gonna do this on the table so everybody could see that I'm not just cherry picking out of this fucking weirdness jar, as if I could look at how much shit is in here, dude, as if I could cherry pick. Anyway, eyes closed. Alright, so I just want everybody to see, because I've explained my kind of finickiness with this. Okay, so you see how finishing is kind of sticking out here? It's the first one that came out, so I like to try to keep it in order so I don't overthink it and think that I'm misinterpreting something, and then my mind is trying to, like, rationalize, did I fuck it up or not, rather than just interpreting what the fuck comes out. So, anyway, finishing, and then we got these two trees here, and then we've got the Five of Wands. I was talking about competition. Maybe it's talking about these people can't see the forest through the trees kind of thing, maybe. And that's kind of like finishing up. Like, we're going to finish this bullshit. Just got to finish. Let's finish it. I'm all for it. Anyway, whatever. I was going to do it on fucking camera. I have to remember that I'm not just doing this for myself anymore. Sharing is caring. Ugh. I know I could be a pain in the ass, guys. It is what it is. So this is the way it came out, and so I'm going to take them out in exactly the order that they were pulled. So, we have living. I know my fucking finger's covering up the living part, but anyway, like the L. And then we have many. Living many. We have the Cloud. Ooh. Anyway, that's intriguing to me. The Queen of Cups. I don't know if the camera will focus in on that itty bitty writing, but it says Queen of Cups. Then we have the Magician. Don't jump off the fucking table. And then we got the Ten of Pentacles. I don't know if it'll focus on it, but it's the Ten of Pentacles. Okay? So let me look at it for just a second. Okay. So finishing, not being able to see past all these crowded branches and everything, the kind of clutter that comes with this competitive crap, and how it distorts the view of every collective and those who are trying to navigate through it. Because in doing that, it causes so many to be living many, and then like the clouds, like illusions, trying to navigate things that they can't actually see through clearly. And so there's these Queen of Cups energies in the collective that are manifesting this Ten of Pentacles type energy. So let me pull a little bit more so we can get a little bit more clarity on this. This here. to do, pull it up so you can see. Okay. Alright, so it came out like this. And on the back side, it's like this. Like, there's this little diddly-doo fucker right here. Alright? Diddly-doo fucker. What the hell? It is what it is. Whatever. I'm here. Hi. It's me. Connect the dots. Of course. You bastard. Alright, and then we have this pretty little butterfly. This little rat bastard that decided to fucking fall, be all dramatic and shit. Of course, it's Page Cups. Alright. Connect the dots. And like butterflies are like symbolic of like transformation, rebirth, because like the whole caterpillar and butterfly thing of how like you start off as a caterpillar and go through the thing and go through the stuff and then you pop out, you have these beautiful wings and yeah, it's fun stuff. Alright, and then we have this, the dirty goopy eyeball. So like somebody having a message of how they are able to recognize kind of the humor, but the messy process of transformation and being in that kind of goo state. Some of us were able to see during our goo phase. And then we have this is like a person and it's looking to the right. That's holding these flowers. It's got a hood. In my last reading, it was very symbolic. And now that I put it on the table, it's looking to the left. So there's like, oh, because whatever. Yeah. So we were talking about like the hooded figure, and yeah, and that whole thing. Then we have this light prism. We've been going over like the perceptional lens and the light of consciousness and awareness and how it shines through that perspective lens and refracts, and we're not even able in the biological sense capable of seeing yet the full spectrum of light that actually exists. And when this one comes out for me, I often associate it with gaining that ability to see beyond that which we're used to seeing. So you can take that symbolically or literally because our vessels are evolving. That's one thing about this pressure that has been put on literally every aspect of us is it does trigger that process. So it's just like the whole thing with like carbon and diamonds. Like at some point, it's going to trigger either you turn to dust or you transform into something else. You take that risk, you get a reward. You get what I'm saying here, you know? Oh, that's weird. I was just, whatever. Cool. Okay, that's groovy. So it's like hinting at something like, seeing things, people who try to see things one way when they go like this, like they're trying to focus in, just, when you're doing that, like the eyes are cross-wired in the brain, like they're connected to opposite parts of the brain. So if you're covering one eye or the other, you're basically energetically and symbolically saying, I'm blocking one side from being able to see the other. But if it's a suggestive thing, winking can also be hinting at something. You see, there's more than one way to interpret things. And that's where the energetic role comes into play. Being able to understand energy and the way it communicates, because it does not necessarily always require somebody's voice or whatever. It's a feeling also. So there's that. And then we have this lion. He's so happy. So it might be like dealing with a Leo type energy. Might have a new way of seeing your own strength, of seeing your own power. I also, well, I'll get that's a bit out there, far reaching for that, so I'll just hold it in for now. We'll get there, Hopefully we'll get there together. Here we go. Thank you. Came out like this. Here's the flip side. Okay. So, communicate. My hair is like tickling my face. The world. So like, being strong enough to communicate the way you see things to the world through your perspective lens, because you might, this hooded figure, you're kind of hidden, but you have something to offer because you have witnessed, like, a huge part of my collective is kind of like, I mentioned that whole goon squad thing. Like, we've been in the nitty gritty. We are not your average divinity. We are a whole different fucking breed. We are a weapons class that is like... Anyway, if you know, you know, and if you don't know, you will soon. Okay? Then we have this little thing. It's got these little 2 trees in the winter, and there's 2 little angels on either side, and it says friendship. So, like, communicating to your tribe, your vibe tribe, coming to the realization that, you know, we're all this big group of friends. We all go way the fuck back. Some shit happened. We've been navigating through it. Let's get back to where we were, guys, but in a new way. Then stop sticking at me. Then we've got the Queen of Swords. And then we have this little whimsical camera. So this is often relative to, like, being able to see something in your physical world that's going to be memorable, and it's going to be kind of fantastic. That's why I chose this one to go into the jar, because it has quite literally like a little unicorn on it, and it's whimsy and stuff. And so with that Queen of Swords energy, it's like presenting to the world in a way that they can understand, being able to remember this friendship aspect, and being able to correlate in a way that makes sense these fantastical things. And having no shame in speaking up and saying, like, hey, I see these things, and this is what they are, this is what they feel like, and this is what to look out for to know that they're present. Because as you start to introduce that energy into your system, and its energetic signature makes itself familiar, then the rest of your system can begin to perceive it on more external levels. So it'll get a base feeling for, okay, so how do I react to this energy, right? And if somebody's like translating it appropriately, you're not going to be attaching like fear and stuff like that. So your subconscious is going to be open to witnessing it. And the forward mind's going to work with it. And, you know, the subconscious connection to the biological body. And it has the access codes to your DNA to be able to tap into that dormant DNA that's just kind of sitting there that they want to call junk. It's not junk. It's just potential. Okay? You can program your shit. If nobody told you that, I'm telling you that. You can program your own fucking system. Anyway. But yes, your subconscious and the forward mind working together will be able to enter in that, and I'm speaking like symbolically, like metaphorically, be able to enter in the code for your DNA to be able to activate parts within yourself that can perceive these things on a biological level. Therefore, the whole being, the culminated being, will then be able to access that, and so on and so forth. Okay? Oh yeah, I gotta hold it. Ah, that scared me. You knocked on my door so suddenly. I was like, who gets it? What? Your what? I'll get it for you in a second. Chill out. Come at me like that, little one. She's out of her mind. Okay. That one definitely wants to stay, so hold on just a second, guys. I'm sorry. They know that I'm in here doing this, and so it's if it's disruptive, it is conveying appropriately. It's rude. Anyways, so we have the Swiss Army knife. So having like multiple tools at your disposal to be able to utilize, um, it's all that stuff is there in your DNA. It's like your Swiss Army knife. But you have to know how to flip it. What's gonna, anyway. And we have the apple. Are you willing to take the risk to get the reward? Okay, are you willing to be open to perceiving new things, although it's unfamiliar, or are you going to lean on the rhetoric of telling you to be scared of literally everything new that just might be everything you've ever wanted? Exactly, magical. We have this blue car. You can take that as literally as you want, or you can associate it with like masculine energy, or the color of a chakra, whatever, what have you. And then we have the 2 skeleton keys. So you remember what I said about like the licenses for the vehicles? Having the keys. Okay, are you following me? Page of Wands. Like somebody with a lot of anyway, I'll get to that. This is symbolic of protection and like metaphysical connection. Somebody that's in tune with that side of themselves. We have these kind of sunglasses. We were talking about the different spectrums of light and being able to perceive beyond which we have been familiar with. That's exactly what that represents. I'm coming. It's about looking for toward a union, an agreement, cooperation, working together instead of fucking competing. One quick second. Let me get these rude motherfuckers. Ow, my butt hit my thing. Here's your stuff.
This is your cat.
Okay, but do you want to play with it? Okay, thank you. Now beat it. Beat it, creep. You're a mess. Okay, sorry about that. Thank you for kind of hanging with me. I really hope you didn't just be like, oh, fuck this shit. Next. I have kids, and they are just as fucking shot out as their mom. It is what it is. Okay. Came out like these. Alright, that one's on top, so I'm going to pull this a little bit. It's eyes. So we have, it's about looking for, and it just kind of like, or looking toward an agreement and like having the eyes, or like being able to see, having the eyes to see, what there is to be happy about, or happiness, before, and we'll do one more pull. Alright, so it came out like that. So I just gotta pull one right off the tippity top. Agreement to have eyes to see like some type of happiness or see a happy something before the same. Eight. Sorry guys, I got a piece of skin on my lip that's like starting to irritate me, so I'm like trying to gnaw at it. The same a sparkle. So you can think of like light spectrum or light refractions, whatever, just whatever. You got this baby crying because it's got his little chickadees pecking at it. And then shorts. So it's basically like being able to see what there is to be happy about as and being able to see things in that you guys all have in common. Because I think 8 is pointing to, because I've been picking up on this too. I don't know if you guys have, but in like the number of the collectives, because I think there's a new spectrum of light that's going to be introduced, because like the original like colors of the rainbow is like the 7 colors, right? And there's going to be, it's not a new color, that sparkle. Okay, so it's like, you'll see, okay? And if you follow me, you follow me, and thank you, okay? Because if you hear me, thank you, because I'm having a difficult time trying to correlate this, because it is something new, and it's something that it's gonna have to be witnessed to be able to interpret per se. So being able to like be happy about all that's coming together, and that all this coming together is going to accomplish even before the infighting stops, okay? Because it's just going to be a short period of time. You see these people, the reason it's bothering them so bad, the reason this baby's crying like this, is because these are the ones who couldn't see the sparkle before it came all the way in. They didn't have that imagination that could perceive beyond the limits of that which it had been told it could. Okay, so, that's a beautiful message, guys. And I think that's a great place to leave off. I really do. I think that that's a wonderful sort of, because that's exactly what I've been talking about, but I've been having a hard time because I know how people will interpret that. And it's not that I'm being judgmental or anything. It's an honest awareness of like the current state of perception, and not everybody is ready or open yet to receive this information. And I want to be delicate because I want to kind of help open that, because I don't want anyone to be left out, because this is going to be so fucking amazing. All those fantastical beasts, the mythological creatures of old, people didn't just have these weird interpretations of things. Yes, there are things that are symbolic of stuff, and that, yeah, they did kind of pull symbology, but there were literal things. And a lot of that history has been hidden from us to try to keep that subconscious awareness suppressed into just writing it off of reality. But enough of us have held on to that. Oh, God, that's beautiful. And the whole masculine, like the blue car. Because, the feminine energy is the more whimsical, the more intuitive, the more tapped into the realm of whimsy, right? And the 2 keys, like working together. Oh, the masculine, the forward mind, the conscious mind, the logical mind is starting to open up to saying, yes, we can rationalize this stuff. It's not just fucking poppycock and blibberty gibbet. I love saying that. That is so fun to say. Say it with me. Blibberty gibbet. Is that not just fucking delightful to say? Anyway, moving on. It's fun. So working together, the minds inside of us are working together to get the whole vehicle on board to unlock this, so we all can witness it. And like, those of us who are prepared for it and have had a pre-awareness of it, oh my God. We have waited for this. And we're going to get to take part in it. That whole thing I was talking about of like that inner self-image. I've said this in my prior videos. Whatever. If you haven't watched them at this point, please go back and watch, because I literally like I get kind of technical, but I do break it down, and there's a reason I get so hyper technical. Is so, just like I said, as this information continues to come out, I've already kind of laid that framework down. So you're able, as this information comes, you're able to put it somewhere inside of yourself where it's going to make sense. Okay? Oh, this is great. Anyway. Hey guys, I'm sorry if I kind of look weird sometimes when I'm talking. I try not to like move my bottom lip a whole lot. When I was a baby, like literally right after I was born, came out of my mama's tummy, C-section baby, yay. I was given a shot, and that shot sent my entire fucking system into overload. I had grand mal seizures up until I was 2 years old, and had to be on like anti-seizure medicine and all this other stuff. My being was in shock being here and coming into this shit. But that medication to keep me from having seizures totally destroyed my teeth before they even grew in. And so my baby teeth were like fucked, and my adult teeth never really got a chance. And I was told that, you know, by the time I was in my early 20s, that, you know, I wouldn't have much left of that. And so what I do have, I'm thankful for. And I've had an opportunity to do something about the uppers, but due to circumstantial situations, I have yet to be able to have access to provide a solution for the bottom teeth. And so if you guys could please be gentle with me about that. It's something I'm kind of self-conscious about, but I'm trying to get over that because it's just a part of who I am. And it seems like we're coming on the point in time where I'm going to be able to get that worked out. So, whatever. It's out there now. I can quit getting hung up about it. So, guys, happy fucking reaping. And guys, congratulations. We're doing the damn thing. Before I cut it off, please start to pay attention. Look up the Schumann resonance. Make yourself familiar with it. Start to pay attention to solar activity, coronal mass ejections, and how that works with the Earth. Start to look into like sky phenomena, things that are going on, weather patterns. All these things hold great wisdom to give you a broader understanding so you can begin to identify some of the key signifiers of this process emerging. Nothing without proof. So that way you can have some peace of mind in knowing that the information I'm providing to you is not just false. I'm not making this shit up. I'm not pulling it out of my ass. I'm not trying to live out some weird fucked up fantasy and being like, hey, ride the Delulu with me. I like the Delulu too, but it has its place, right? I'm talking about like, this is, like I said, very soon I'm going to do a whole video on the quantum aspect of this and how particle physics and all this other, I can prove this, is what I'm saying. I see your little fingers wiggling under the door, Bugaloo. Just being so cute. It's annoying, but it's so wretched. Anyway, ha! I'm annoying, but I'm precious. Whatever. Oh, I dropped it. Anyways, guys, as you can tell, I'm giddy. I'm excited. I really hope you guys are too. And please, stay fucking tuned, man. I am going to make sure to provide this information to you. Follow it yourself. Do your own research, guys. It will serve you well. and you will see that all the information has been there. It's just in learning how to find where it's at and putting it together. And guys, I have done so much of this work, so you don't have to, but I can show you a streamlined process, and I have the research and so on to back my shit up, guys. Anyways, I love you. Happy reaping.